almost 26. I'll be 26 next month. My background, I studied economics with statistics at the University of Zambia. Um, I am not in full-time employment right now. I'm just volunteering with many different organizations. And yeah, so the biggest one that's keeping me right now is the work with Restless Development and Plan UK, which is the Youth Governance and Accountability Task Team. And the committee I'm chairing is the one on governance and transparency. Yeah. Next, Nesta. Unmute your mic first. Unmute your mic. No, on the screen. Just press unmute in the middle.
Is it okay?
Yes, go ahead.
All right. So, my name is Nestor Bianca. I'm studying British Studies. I'm doing British Studies. And I am actually intern at the German.
Nesta, we don't hear you very well. Do you hear him, guys?
No.
Okay.
Yes,
So
put it close.
like this. It's okay?
Or maybe we take it off if you can speak from the laptop, computer. No?
Maybe try to speak a little bit louder.
Or yeah, exactly.
Is it okay
Loud.
now? You hear me? You don't
Go
hear
ahead.
me?
Okay, now we can hear you.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I was saying that I am Nestor Bianca from Senegal, doing British Studies. And actually, I'm intern at the German Political Foundation, Konrad Adenauer. And I am a young activist at the Young Men Christian Association as a volunteer, and also a member founding the Break Stereotypes. I don't know, you can watch out at the Facebook or the website. And I am also a member of Young Expert, Young African Leaders Expert at Political and Communication Studies, a program held by the German state called Election Bridge Academy. So I can stop here, and I'm the chair of the African Union Events and the regional coordination. Is it okay? Do you hear me? Yeah, thank you. Next one.
Thank you.
All right.
Next.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Hello, Isaac.
Yeah, he's out and in.
Okay, do I come in then?
Yes, go ahead.
Can you hear me, guys?
Yeah.
Okay, my name is Maggie Piri, and I'm from Malawi, but I'm currently in Sweden studying a master's in rural development and natural resources management. I'm a motivational speaker on girls' education, and I'm also a blogger. I've worked with the United Nations Women as an intern under the Women Economic Empowerment on a Gender and Agriculture project, and I'm chairing the Committee of Gender Equality. Thank you.
Thank you. Maketeri. So we have Anne, the second Anne. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, great. So we're just going on a round to introduce ourselves. Would you like to jump in?
Oh, yeah. Let me. Okay, my name is Anne. 1 minute, please.
It's okay.
My name is Anne. I am from Kenya, and I'm chairing the Committee on Agriculture, and I think entrepreneurship. Let me check it out. Yeah, I graduated with a first class honors from University of Nairobi in agriculture and environment management. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Oh, and I've been working. Oh shit!
Perfect.
Wait a
You
minute.
can.
Somebody else go, cause I'm having problem.
It's okay.
Oh, okay. No, it's all right. It's all right. I was having two devices working at the same time. That's why I had a problem. I could hear myself back. Um, my name is Anne. I am chairing the Committee on Agriculture. I work with Biodeposit Africa Limited as an agriculturalist in climate smart agriculture. I work as a field extension officer. I'm also the chair of the agriculture committee for the My Lead group, and I chair many other agricultural committees. Yes, I also volunteer for the UNEP Tunza. I am a UNEP Tunza envoy for environment and agriculture. That's all about me.
Thank you very much. So unfortunately, I'm a bit sick. Sorry for my voice. We have 5 people missing, but as I said, the meeting will be recorded so they can watch whatever we're talking about. And I also need a volunteer uh, for the minutes for this meeting. Just send it out maximum after 24 hours of this meeting. Who wants to volunteer? Each one of you will have to do this task once this year, so maybe it's a good idea to get rid of it from now. Anyone? Lombe, perfect. Thank you so much.
Yes, I can do it. Yeah.
Come back again. I didn't hear you, Aya.
So I was just saying someone to volunteer to take the minutes, and Lombe just jumped in, and she's going to take this task and send us the minute of this meeting. Okay? Anne?
Okay.
Yeah? Okay, perfect. So I'll go to the next, sorry, to the next point on the agenda about AYM creation, values, and mission. I'll take some time to explain that. So everybody will be on the same page and we have a good foundation from the beginning. So I started 2 years ago a Facebook group, and I just named it the African Youth Movement. Most of you are already members now of this group. And I just tried to gather all the Africans I met throughout my travels, about 20 African countries I visited. And it was just a platform to keep in touch, to share, to exchange. And then last July, about 6 months ago, I decided to take this group online to another level because I felt there is a lot of potential to do something together. So I created a Google Hangout just like this one around frustrations Africa is facing and why I feel the need to have this movement, and just wanted to see the reaction of people and if anyone shares with me that something needs to be done. And the response was massive, and the group was growing from 500 members to 3,000 in a couple of months. And I used many online tools to collect the input from everybody. So we have agreed deadlines, and then I collect all the contributions, and around 60 people were really engaged in the conversation through online meetings or comments or Google Docs, writing, and etc. And then little by little, our vision was shaped into what it is now, as I sent you in the document, an Pan-Africanist, action-oriented
movement, of course, with young people being the main change makers. And many of the selected actually for the committees have been part of the first meetings of developing the structure and vision. And that shows that it wasn't just somebody who commented online on some meeting and then left, but it shows a long-term commitment, which I really appreciate. So basically, we are not creating something from scratch, but we're connecting the energies of young African thinkers, formal and informal groups, and using that potential and expertise to solve our own issues. This is basically how AYM was created. And my main passion behind this is really practicing our own values and getting back to our African values and using them in building Africa. So, for example, the value of togetherness. Being labeled myself of coming from North Africa, which excluded itself from Africa discussion, I know very well Africa has become more and more divided for political or economic aims or whatever. But this division is made by other people, and we are bearing the consequences. And I think we should change that. And that's why we have, for example, Arabic facilitators in your committee in order to bridge North African youth with the rest of the African youth. That's why we have French-speaking facilitators to include the Francophone in the discussion. That's why we have more females in the committees to claim African women participation, not to empower them, to claim our space. And you will see that the whole structure of AYM is moving based on practicing our values, or at least practicing what we stand for. Inclusion, women participation, and all these things we always talk about. But how about we start ourselves applying before advocating for it? One more thing before ending on this point, and of course I'll leave you the floor to have any questions or comments. I want to talk about the funding, to be clear on that from the beginning. So so AYM is an African movement, and with that understanding is African means led by Africans, towards Africans, funded by Africans. And this is not to exclude anyone from all around the world, but this is our strategy to build ourselves. We're not here to exchange with Europe or whatever region in the world on finding solution to our problems, but we are encouraging the exchange from each other as Africans. We have a wealth of experience, experienced youth who can transfer their knowledge. But of course, we must be open and knowledgeable about experiences from all around the world. But it's us who analyze that experience from our own perspective as African youth. That's the point. So we will not accept funding from non-African sources. We don't need funding so far anyway, because most of the things are online. But if we ever accept funding, it will be from African companies, institutions, individuals, NGOs, etc. And we will also have a membership fees on the website to access our platforms, and we will use that membership fees to develop the website and other projects. So this approach aims to build really ourselves strongly, but also to have a platform to discuss and solve our own issues by ourselves. And I'm saying this because you receive many, many emails, especially as chairs of committees, from people and NGOs from all around the world who want to be involved. And we have a lot of friends of AYM and supporters, which really appreciate that. But until we find the right form to include them, we will do things with Africans only. Anyone has any questions so far? Or a clarification or a comment or anything like that?
Hi, Aya.
Yes, Mumbai.
Yes, I have a question. Have you found a way to also include like Africans who are not living in Africa?
Yes. It's African, whoever they are. The diaspora in Africa, whatever they are Africans.
Okay. Okay.
And I just need a clarification on friends of AYM. Who are these, and how do they qualify to be friends of AYM?
So, using the word friends or supporters, they don't have any kind of structure in AYM. So they're just people who send encouraging messages or who wants to be involved in different networks of different members of AYM who have friends all around the world who are leading NGOs or networks or movements. But our idea is we cannot involve them directly to AYM until we all agree on a certain form for that. Because the basic principal idea is to have it only led by Africans. So we need to find a structure or a form to involve them while we keep the work done by Africans. Sorry, this is Charles. So sorry. So I think it's Charles trying to reach to Skype. Yeah, so does this answer your question?
It does.
Okay. Any other? Yes, Anne.
Why are you very specific about the funding coming from African companies?
So I'm not specific on coming from companies. It's just an example. It could be institutions, companies, individuals, any form of funding. But what we emphasize on is to be African original funding. So it's not specific to be companies. It depends.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Why is it specific that you are taking funding from African institution companies? Why not any other donor funding?
Yeah, that's what I was explaining. The point is the basic idea of having a movement or an NGO is to apply for grants and get funding. And that makes most of the African NGOs depending on foreign funding to operate their activities. So our principle is to have everything Africa-oriented and Africa-centered, which is African solving our own issues, but also using our own resources and not being dependent on foreign funding, which might put conditions that we don't necessarily agree on. And also encouraging our own funding resources.
Okay, can I ask a question?
Joseph, or?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
I wanted to.
Go ahead.
Okay, I just wanted to understand on the same topic of funding. Does this include like the programs or other activities under the United Nations or?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, United Nations is an international funding, so it includes the United Nations.
Okay, all right.
So, but this doesn't mean we will be closed on ourselves. Our target is both changing the reality of Africa inside Africa, with Africans all around the world, and promoting our narrative to the world. So, influencing policies outside Africa, influencing governments, institutions, individuals who are affecting us as Africa. So, we will have our target is regional and international, but the power and force is truly 100% African. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. And perhaps just a question of interest. I just wanted to know if there are already some African institutions who have already expressed interest, like to support our activities or maybe to work hand in hand with us.
There are individuals who are supporting us with the volunteer service for free or with the proposing some funding, not institutions yet. And mostly because we are not a registered movement, we are an informal movement, so we can't really get the standard funding. But as I said from the beginning, I don't know, Joseph, if you joined from the beginning, we will not need funding so far because most of our activities are either online, I'll explain later, or through advocacy. But if we ever need funding to do any of the activities, we will keep it to Africa-focused funding.
Okay. Yeah, I joined the meeting late. I missed that.
It's okay. Can you please introduce yourself because you just joined us?
Well, my name is Joseph Kenson Sakala from Malawi. I'm an environment scientist by profession. Here in Malawi, I do agricultural activities like I have a small farm where I do agriculture, and then I'm also engaged in several youth campaigns related to climate change, environment here in Malawi, and I've also been involved in quite a number of conventions in Africa. And yeah, I think maybe I should say that, yeah.
Thank you so much. Yes.
I hope I had enough.
Which committee are you chairing?
Okay, Committee on Environment and Sustainable Development.
Thank you. I'm trying to get Charles to Skype with us, but I think still can't hear us.
Hi there.
Hello?
Hi guys. Yeah, I can hear you.
Charles, can you hear us? Okay, perfect. Great.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, perfect. We hear you very well. Can you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Charles Silvanos Boyd, the chairman for the Peace and Security Committee, African Youth Movement.
Okay. I will just ask you, Charles and Joseph, to mute your mic when you don't speak and then unmute it when you speak, so we don't hear any echoes. Thank you, Joseph.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah? Could you do that?
Oh, to mute my mic.
Your mic on the screen, so it's just in the middle of the screen, you'll find a mic.
Okay.
Okay, let me see.
Nee, kein Problem. Ich weiß nicht, wo das ist. Vielleicht da?
Isaac?
Hello?
Isaac?
Hello, yes.
Can you hear us? Hello? Isaac? Yes. Can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
We can hear you, yes. Yes. Okay, can you speak? Just to check.
Yes.
Great. Can you please introduce yourself to the group?
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Apologies for there was some technical so I was having some technical problems. Thank God I'm in. Okay. My name is Isaac Sasso. As you all know, I already completed my master program in chemistry here in Germany, and now a research assistant in my department. And I'm also the chair for the Committee on Technology and Innovation, and I'm happy to work with you guys.
Thank you. So I'll just ask you to mute your mic when you don't speak and unmute it when you want to speak. Okay?
Okay.
Where is Isaac from?
Oh, sorry, I'm from Ghana.
Great. Okay. So I was just briefly talking about AYM creation and vision and values, or some of the values, and its funding. And I will move to the next point on the agenda about the role of committees and tasks and chairs. And of course, this session again is recorded, so you can go back for those who missed the first part to watch it on YouTube. So, sorry. So for the committees, we have coming goals and we have specific goals for each committee. So the coming goals are basically creating a platform for discussion, debate, knowledge sharing, connecting, and involving young people, and also stimulating ideas and finding solutions for the topic you are discussing. And this will be done through Google Hangout sessions, basically because it accommodates a small number of people, which is 10, which is enough for a group discussion. But also it has the recording option, which is good to keep people watching this even after the session, whoever can miss it. And also have the session live broadcasted, so whoever in the room, many other people, unlimited number of people can watch and comment on the topic, and the conversation can keep going even after the session. So each committee, I need to mute. Yeah, Nestor's mic. So each committee will organize 3 hangouts per month in 3 languages, and that's why you have 3 facilitators in your committee. So each hangout, you will have French, English, and Arabic sessions, and each hangout will have an outcome of at least 3 recommendations of the topic discussed. Now, the hangout format is according to the creativity of the committee. You can have a group discussion on a certain topic of your committee, main topic, on a project, on a statement, on a recent article, or breaking news on the field of your committee. Or you can invite a speaker or a panel and have questions from participants. You can engage in the Google Plus or in Twitter. And people, as I said, will watch it live broadcasted. So that's the main task for each month. Each of your facilitator has to organize 1 hangout. And the goal from that, not only the outcome, as I said, but the process itself of people meeting each other online, discussing and engaging, because the first step to find the solution is to discuss it and the debate about it. Any questions about this part so far? Any questions? Go ahead.
Okay, I wanted to ask on the, you've said every month we have to at least organize 3 hangouts, and this should be in 3 different languages. So I just wanted to know that, is it going to be the same audience, or we are going to be having different audiences based on the language?
Good question, Joseph. So the 3 hangouts will be on different times, and I will talk later about the calendar. But for sure, it will be different audience, and that's why the language is emphasized. Because if you have it French-speaking, then you have the francophone French-speaking part of Africa engaging more. If you have the Arabic, it will be engaging more the Arabic-speaking countries in North Africa. So we will not choose the audience because the audience will find themselves directly engaging more in talking the language they feel most comfortable to speak. And we wish we can include more Portuguese and Spanish and other languages in the future. And also it depends on the facilitator work and outreach. Whatever they think the topic they've chosen for that certain discussion, they will promote it, and we will help promote it through social media to a certain audience they think should be engaged in that discussion.
All right, fine.
Any other questions?
Yes. I just want to know, like, on the issues that we're going to discuss about, is there something that we are also going to implement out of it, or it's just a matter of talking about it and that's the end?
Sorry, I couldn't hear you very well. I'm sorry.
I'm trying to ask that the issues that you're going to present or to talk about, maybe have a debate on or discuss, is there something that we can push in on implementing the findings or the discussions that we have had, or it's just a matter of talking about it and that's the end?
Mm-hmm. Great question. That actually takes me, I will talk about it later, but I will just go ahead and talk about it, which is the specific mission for each committee. So that's a space where each committee will decide with its members on the main objectives of the committee for this year, based on your main field of discussions. If it's changing the law, if it's increasing or decreasing a certain percentage of a certain field, if it's a campaign, a survey, or a document to be presented by the end of the year to the African Union or to the United Nations. So just ask yourselves in your first committee meeting, what do you want to achieve from these discussions by the end of the year? And that will make it easier later to decide on each session topic and the format that it should be. And after 6 months, we will evaluate how far you've gone with your goals and if it needs to be adjusted, etc. So that's your year plan. You decide, for example, to join a campaign or to create your own campaign. So this is a place for action and creativity of any idea as chairs and as the members of your committee deciding together on the implementation of the outcome of those recommendations. If it's advocacy, policy changing, or if it's a campaign, or whatever you decide together. So it's the discussion, but before we're going to start the discussion, you will have your first meeting with the committee and decide on your goal or vision for your committee topic for the whole year. And then based on that, you will find the small topics and how it will lead up to the final solution. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah?
Thank you.
Any other questions? No? Any other questions before we move?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, I would like to know if the 3 handouts in a month is just for the various committees. If we're going to hold this meetings just with our own committee members, I would just know that.
So you're asking if you're going to have a committee with your members. Okay, I get the question.
Yeah.
So you basically, as chairs, you will have 2 meetings every month. 1 meeting with me and 1 meeting with your committee. And then what you discuss with your committee, or the tasks that you will agree with your committee, the facilitators will carry. So the 3 hangouts will be facilitated or directed by the 3 facilitators. They will handle that tasks. But your task as chair is arranging your committee meeting and chairing it and attending this meeting. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Any other questions before we move? No? Okay. So so that's the first task of each committee. The second one is the committee has to identify strategic events, seminars, or conferences at international, regional, and national levels that influence Africa in general, and your committee work in particular. And then we shall send an AYM representation, and it's so this happens everywhere. But the unique thing that we thought about is that the committee work is to prepare those delegations on what agenda are we pushing for in that particular event. So that's why you have facilitators in 3 languages. So language will not be a problem. You can have delegates going to any country inside or outside Africa to push for our agenda. And as you know, all of us has been to conferences where sometimes participants are not really participating and just there for whatever reasons. So we want to cultivate this culture in our members and in African youth in general to be professional and focused and to go with Africa's agenda and to be there presently and advocating for that. And you will have, for that, you will have an advisor in each committee who will help with mentoring these delegates. You choose, your committee will choose those members and will help you in your work in the strategy in general. For now, we have two confirmed advisors in the Committee of Gender Equality and the Committee on Environment and Sustainable Development. And when I say advisor, it means he or she is an expert in the committee field. And those delegations, we do not support these delegations with funds, but we support them with strong professional mentorship and in the application process and recommendation if needed. Is that clear so far, or do you have any comments on that? Silence.
Hi. So I just want to be clear on this point on identifying conferences for like our specific committees. So if in a case where we identify such an opportunity, do we take them through the whole process from application, like from the first stage? Is it from application to, I don't know, till if they're accepted? But then in cases where the conferences or whatever are not fully funded, what happens then? Do we point them to a source of funding, or how does that work?
Great questions, actually. Since we're gonna see how it works because we never done this. It's just the idea and how to engage youth in pushing for youth agenda. But the idea is to identify two things. First, AYM already have a lot of members who are active and attend a lot of conferences. So we will have those members who already accepted or organizing or in the conference itself. And we want to have these members pushing for the agenda of certain committees depending on the topic. So we will have those people, and those we will need only mentorship on how to push that agenda. And then we will have other people who think are very potential for a certain event and just don't have that support, professional support in terms, for example, of language. They're not really eloquent, for example, in English, and you know all the conferences, for example, outside Africa is in English, so we will provide them with that support from different facilitators. Okay. So it's, as you said, it's those we think really a great opportunity for them to be there, and they will push for our agenda. We will mentor them from the application process to the fact that hopefully they are selected. Those conferences who are very important but they need funding, for now what we can do is to provide, yes, recommendation letters for sponsors, to use our own networks to identify certain sponsors. For now we can do more than that, and if we get some offers of sponsorship, we will prioritize the delegations to go to certain events. But of course, in each committee, that's very open. In each committee, if you find a useful strategy for that committee and having those delegations, it's open to discussion. Why not? Good?
Great, thank you.
Okay, any other comments? And also for the it's not about the quantity of how many people we send in a year. It's about the quality. It's, you know, it's about how well we mentor that person and how well the impact we see after he or she attends that. What's the impact in their participation and after they left. So it's more focusing on the quality. If we send, I don't know, 4 people in 1 year and they really did a great impact, that's a success, rather than sending 20 people and it's the same. We're not changing this culture. So that's just a remark. Okay, so.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Can I ask something?
Mm-hmm.
I would like to know how far we're going to take some of the plans of the committees, especially the key committees to the AU, so that like whenever there is an AU General Assembly, we will have some presentation to make in key issues or matters that are affecting the African young people.
Thank you for the question, and that's exactly what we're discussing, which is sending delegations and preparing them. So the delegation who will be sent, the preparation of those delegations will be based on your committee discussions that you have done for the past, for example, 3 or 4 months. So you're not going to go to the UN or to the African Union with nothing concrete. This is a discussion of, I don't know, 60 young people who discussed online this and that. So yes, our impact, that's another goal. If you have your goal of the committee as a whole for your year plan to, by the end of the year, go into an event and present something, that's another thing we can discuss together and see how we can make it happen. But in terms of the delegations, that's on a regular basis. That's identifying key events on a regular basis to push for it and to prepare. And that's why we would like to have this key events lists from the beginning of the year, so we can plan ahead on how and when and who to engage in that.
Okay.
Yeah?
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, great. And of course, while you will start the discussion, many things will come up from the members and participants in the discussions themselves. So let's always be open on what and what not could be done, and be flexible to any idea coming on the way and could be implemented. So the most important thing is that you agree on your year plan together with your committee, and to prioritize that, to implement it, because we will evaluate it later, and we want to see the real impact of it. And then any other ideas that come up, it should be always open for discussion, because every idea is important. So we will have a monthly meeting, and each of you as chairs has to report on your own Google Hangouts outcome and process. And of course, that's just to collect. You can, dispatch the tasks between your committee and have that information. And that will be also collected in a newsletter to be sent out to all the members each month of what are the discussions that have been. You are 11 committees, so definitely the outcome of discussion will be very interesting. And you will have, as I said, 2 meetings a month, one with me and one with your committee. And you will work closely with your deputy chair, and that's why we have this position. So if you skip this meeting or your committee meeting, make sure to have your deputy chair attend on your behalf. So coordinate together how to arrange these meetings and reports. So you don't have to be every time in this meeting or your committee meeting if you coordinate with your deputy chair to represent you. And also, even your committee meeting, just like this meeting now, should be live broadcasted on Google Hangout, so we can see the recording later. And the point from this is first to have it recorded, because it will be live on YouTube in 5 minutes. But also, this could be a tool for transparency, so we can watch this by the end of the year and hold ourselves accountable to what we have planned and what we have done. And anyone who missed the meeting, if you yourself you cannot attend it, it's also a good tool to come back and watch in details. Even if you have the minutes, watch the conversation and what happened. So that's basically it on the committee's roles and your role as a chair. Do you have any question before I move to the next? Is everything clear? And how do you feel? And it's a lot of work. It's good. It's
I would like to make a recommendation regarding the deputy chair.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we can look at it like if the chairperson is a man, then the deputy chair should be a female. And if the chairperson is a female, then the deputy chair should be a male. I just want to make this recommendation so that we can have gender balance.
So all the committees are selected now, and you just as if you are in our selection committee. We have made the gender balance. If the chair is man, the deputy chair is woman in all your committees. And if the deputy chair is man, the chair is a woman. That's already implemented,
Okay.
and all of them are selected. And the facilitators will have 3, at least one of them is a woman. And then we ended up having more females than males, which is great. So with this policy, we just ended up having more females in our group. Yay! But thank you for pointing out gender balance. I'm so happy to hear that.
Welcome.
Anything else before I move? No? Okay. So the next point is next steps and deadlines. So basically, you will need to organize your first meeting on Google Hangouts, and tomorrow I will send to each committee the list of your committee members and introduce you to them. And between the 12th and the 18th, you will have to organize your committee meeting. And you will receive an email, sorry, to become a manager of the AYM Google Plus, which makes you or allow you to create any Google Hangouts you want. So I will send you by email the steps on how to do that. As I can see, most of you are really familiar with Google Hangouts, but if you face any difficulty, we can try it together, and we can use it together, so no problem with that. But I will send an email with the steps on how to use it and how to broadcast it, etc. By the 24th of January, I need to receive all the first committee meeting minutes with your main goal, strategy, list of key events, and calendar of your fixed 3 Hangouts per month. And then I will coordinate if there are conflicting times with other committees, because we cannot use the Google Hangout at the same time. Then I will get back to you with the final fixed calendar till the end of the year. So make sure your facilitators choose a perfect time for them where they can commit to be fully available for that time each month to facilitate their sessions. So we're not depending on the audience availability, we're depending on the facilitator's full availability for that throughout the year. And make it always 2 hours, just in case of technical and internet issues, as you see. So basically the conversation will take 1 hour, 15 minutes, and then just make sure it's 2 hours for any other technical issues. And some of you and your committee members don't have a Gmail account, so I'll ask you, and please ask your committee members to create a Gmail account, because that's how we're going to communicate through different Google Docs and Google Plus and other things related to Google. So it's better to have all the members have a Gmail account. And we already have our website online, but we are just fixing things here and there. So each committee will have a professional email, for example, genderequality@africanyouthmovement.org. So you can use it to talk to speakers, you invite to talk to AYM members, delegates, any task that you needed for professional use. Yes, that's it for the next steps. Do you have any questions? I see that you're taking notes. That's good. Any questions, clarifications, comments, suggestions?
Hey, you said that the facilitator is the one who chooses the time for the meeting.
Yes.
So that means every committee has to have the 3 facilitators you're talking about is each for committees. For each committee, there are 3 facilitators.
Yes.
Okay. How many committee members are there?
So we have 11 committees. In each committee, we have 5 members, a chair, a deputy chair, and 3 facilitators in English, French, and Arabic. So the meeting that you will have with your committee is flexible. You can change it from a month to another. It depends on you and how you agree with your committee. But the sessions of the Google Hangout discussions, they are formal discussions, so they have to be fixed throughout the year. And the date to be fixed depends on the facilitator. So the facilitator, if she or he thinks that's the best time, they can commit 2 hours each month for that to facilitate that discussion, then that's the time. Is it
Yeah,
clear?
yes. I'm asking about the members. How many members per committee? Because I am thinking we as chairs are already about 7, 8, and we are having problems connecting. How easy is it for members to connect online? As in, how many
So the
members are
number
we?
is 5. In each committee, there are 5 members.
Oh, so the 5 members are inclusive of the facilitators.
Yes.
Okay.
A chair, a deputy chair, English, French, and Arabic facilitators. 5 members of each committee.
All right. Thanks.
Okay. Anything else?
Do you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I wanted to know how we can engage people in the AYM, not limiting only in our committee's meetings, but we have also to give a floor to AYM members who are not in the committees. For example, if we want to plan something, we have also to engage AYM members. We call them, what do you think it is better to do for this issue, for example, so that they can participate in our main duties, I think. It will be, a participation action, not only for little, short people doing a great thing, but also we have to engage other people and try to share our ideas to do something great, I think. We have to engage them also to plan our activities yearly. I don't know if you agree.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm not sure if I get you well because the voice was going back and forth, but I tried to explain if I got you well. So there will be two meetings. The meeting of the committee, which is the 5-member committee, and that's a meeting for preparation. That's a meeting, internal meeting inside each committee to prepare and to evaluate and to decide on the topics, etc., etc. That meeting of preparation, though it's an internal meeting, it should be broadcasted. So anyone with the link can attend that meeting and suggest ideas to you as a committee working or leading your plan. And then there will be 3 other group discussions. They're not committee meetings. They are group discussions where you will engage AYM members and all Africans around the world. So the ones that are outside the committee meetings are not for the committee. They are engaging Africans outside the committee from all AYM and all Africans. The people you decide to make inside the room, it's up to the committee. If you think, for example, in your networks, I know this and this and this person, experts in a certain topic in gender equality, I will invite them to be in the room to discuss a certain statement released by a certain country on violation of women's rights. And then they will have, those are not committee members, they are AYM members or other members who will discuss that topic. And their session will be live broadcasted where anybody watching it can ask them questions, can comment, can keep the conversation. That's why I said it depends on the committee to decide what format you want the discussion to be. Do you want it a panel to bring 4 people and then have the French facilitator facilitate a discussion between 4 people and have that, from that discussion, have 3 main recommendations? Or you want it just to bring, I don't know, even high-level speaker and have the facilitator having just one-on-one discussion and everybody watching and commenting online. So it depends on what format you choose. But I don't know if you have confused the committee meeting with the discussions. The discussion is the aim for the committee meeting. We are doing all of this to do the discussion, the real discussion with AYM members and all Africans. I don't know if this really clear.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, it's okay.
Or if I get you very well, maybe I didn't get your point.
That's
Go ahead,
okay,
Matthew.
but, yeah, it's okay. I was just thinking about our committee, for example, African Union Affairs and Regional Communication Coordination. Um, for me, I'm talking about African Union affairs. It's a political, I think, way to solve it. When we talk about African Union affairs, we talk about gender equality also, the question of security, and so on and so forth. But in our field, we have to focus on one thing. The first is to broadcast our ideas. And the more we have people, the best it is. So how do we use maybe the medias? We need medias, I want to say, and also radios to talk about a lot our ideas in this respect. Because in this we have many parts like education and so and so. For example, if we are called today to talk about how do we see Pan-Africanism, it's an idea that engage also our community. But what kind of idea we can express? It's a diverse idea, we can say that. We can take here a little bit and over there, something like this. But it's a political, we have to talk a lot about our community, I think, the way it is. So maybe you have other comment about it. That is just a point of view. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, great. I am so sorry because the voice is going back and forth. I'm not sure if I'm the only one not hearing very well. But your ideas are great. It's especially your committee because it's not specified to one topic. It's the AU affairs, which is very broad, and it overlaps with a lot of topics. And actually, I think your committee can collaborate with many other committees on what they find and how you can take their discussion forward. So it doesn't mean that you will have to work as one committee. And I think this meeting is meant for you to know each other and to collaborate the best way you think will serve each committee. And on the point on the media, it's very true. I would like you to work with your committee members on how to promote that. And we as AYM, we can help and support that, to have you talk on different platforms, to have you talk to radios, to be interviewed for what is the discussions you are leading, where are they going, etc., etc. So I totally understand that the Committee on African Union Affairs, it's a complicated one, and it's not only one thing and we can do it or talk about it. But also I think once you talk with your committee members, you will find the best strategy to do that. Because that's why I said each committee has to have its own strategy, depending on the topic they're discussing. And then the best way you think it will serve your committee, you just propose it to us, and we can support that and help implementing that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Yes. On the hangouts that is supposed to be held by the 3 facilitators, we have about 11 committees, right?
Yes.
So that means we have 33 hangouts per month.
Yes.
So I'm just wondering if there wouldn't be any collision. In a month we have 31 or 30 days. So that means some hangouts will be held twice in a day or 3 times in a day. And I'm wondering if by this we can attract the right turnouts to our discussions. And you also mentioned something about the inter-committee hangout. I think this could also help if we think we are colliding with each other for the hangout. So I would suggest that when we already plan our hangout topics, we should share with each other and see where we can collaborate, so we don't end up colliding with each other during the hangout session.
Very, very great comment, actually. So we're gonna do two Google Plus because each Google Plus has its own YouTube channel. So we have 2 channels, one for meeting and one for discussions. So we don't have, the overlapping meetings and discussions. And for the discussions, as I said, what I requested from each one after your committee meeting to get back to me with a list of all the fixed meetings, discussions your facilitator decided. And then we will check if there are some meetings who overlap. And this calendar will be shared with all of you. So you know when each discussion is taking place. Now for the committee meetings, that's a good point. We need to have another calendar, I think, for that. And that's a moving calendar, it's not a fixed calendar. So what we can do maybe is to share a calendar, and each committee, once they fix their meeting, they put it on the calendar. So whoever committee comes on, they can already disregard that space because it's for another committee. Does that sound convenient for everybody? Yes,
Aya,
Yes, I agree.
Aya,
and
because there are 3 committees, I personally do not understand Arabic and I do not understand French. So, of what use am I to this?
Yes.
Of what use am I to the other 2 meetings which are not in English because I do not understand French or Arabic?
Yeah. So first, the facilitators speak English, so they're gonna report their sessions in English. That's first. And second, you don't have to attend the discussions. You only have to attend your committee meeting, which is preparing for the discussions. But the discussions will be led by the facilitators. You don't have to attend them at all.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
The 3 discussions led by the 3 facilitators are optional. If you want to attend any of them, it's up to you, but it's not a requirement to do that. But the only meeting that you or your deputy chair has to be there is the committee meeting and this meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, great. Any other questions?
Well, this is not a question. I'm just sending an appeal. As you all know, my country is under the state of emergency, and everything that we do at the moment is controlled by the state government. I would like to just join you in the final discussion, which is the expectation and ideas from chair, because I have to travel to the city and I have less than 30 minutes to leave. If I leave after that, then I will not enter the city, because after 5 p.m., no vehicle is allowed to enter the city. So I would like to appeal that I end this meeting in the next 15 minutes, and I will later send my comments or recommendation to email to you guys.
Yes, no problem. No problem. Thank you so much for attending, though you have all these difficulties. We totally understand.
Yeah, because the situation here, the Ebola crisis is really tense, and everybody is under the state of emergency control. We don't do things on our own at the moment.
We totally understand, and if you want to leave, we totally take the excuse. We totally understand, and thank you so much for attending. And stay safe.
Yeah. Can I give my expectation? Can I give my expectation,
yes,
or can I send them to your email?
If you want to do it now, we can prioritize you to do it. If you want to leave and then send them, it's up to you.
All right, let me send them through email. I will copy each and every member.
Sure, no problem.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much, and I hope to connect with you back anytime. And please remember Sierra Leone, Guinea, and Liberia in your prayers, because we are facing this epidemic and people are dying every day.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I will also leave early. It's approaching 7 o'clock here, so.
Actually, we just have 10 minutes to wrap up. So the only point left is it's you talking. So it's up to you. Your expectations, ideas, and how do you feel? So that's the last point on the agenda, and then we will end the call.
Well, I'll go first.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, my expectation is that you're going to reach out to many more African youths, and I'm hoping that we will be able to create opportunities through the movement, across Africa, not just as countries. I am of the idea where we should collaborate with different organizations depending on our committees so that we can connect people who are part of our members to such companies, especially those who are fresh graduates. Like I had somebody saying she doesn't have a full-time job. I know it's really difficult getting employment. So we should connect with other companies so that we can be able to connect the new fresh graduates and other youths who are struggling to get into a career to get internships and jobs in these companies. That's my idea, and I think I'm done.
Thank you so much, Anne. Anyone else?
Hello?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So for me, this one is the okay. Well, I'll start with my expectation. I just want to connect with more people. Sorry, I can hear someone's voice.
Yeah, Aya,
Okay.
please mute
Yeah.
him.
Okay. Yeah. So I was saying, I just want to connect with more people, in a way that like we move towards practical solutions and not just reading about things and talking about problems. Yes, we know let's find practical solutions to these problems. So that's one of my expectations, and I just wanted to suggest, for the sake of communication, like if for the committee chairs we could use the listserv. Um, I don't know what it's called, where you create. I don't know what it's called. I can't remember. But so that if we want to send an email to the other chairs, we just send to that one address, and then it goes to everyone. It's on Google. I can't remember what it's called, but I think that would be a good way to communicate.
Mailing list. Yeah.
Mailing list. Yes.
Yes. Mailing list.
I can definitely do that.
Okay, great. Awesome.
That's a great idea.
Well, let me also just say a little something. I'm really glad that we all are here to work together as African youth and to work on issues that affect us. So I hope that as we are working together, we'll also not be looking like, okay, I'm the chairperson of the gender committee and all I have to do is about gender and that's it. There are a lot of things that you can also contribute. I mean, let's be people who can help each other. We can mentor each other, and we can always connect regardless of our areas of expertise. You may not better on some issues that I may not really be good at, and you're free to confront me or to tell me on how to do it. So let's work together as teams and not as separate teams, but as one team. So that's what I'm expecting for us to get lasting solutions to issues that affect us as African youth. Thank you.
Definitely, that's a very great point. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. So thank you so much for the meeting. I'm so glad for that, and hope that we will be going ahead this way. Um, so, as our sister said, we're going to work collaboratively. It's very good way to do. But we have also to engage all AYM members so that we do something great. We have also to target other young African leaders, not only staying in our AYM, you see, but also to try to find other organizations working in an African way also. So I'm wishing you Happy New Year. I have to leave, but I was so glad for what is happening now. But maybe we're gonna speak also next time. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Nasta,
All right.
thank you so much.
Yeah.
Aya.
Just one last thing to say.
I haven't presented my idea.
Yes. I think he's gonna leave now, so that's why I'm gonna ask him.
Okay.
So he left. That's what I wanted to say to him. Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, I'll make it snappy. I'm very excited that we are here working together as African youth, and I know we have a lot of ideas that we want to implement to make this movement more stronger, more formidable across the continent. What I would only say is we should work together, strengthen our collaborations, putting our ideas together, teaming up. For example, like the Committee for Employment and then Entrepreneurship. We have a lot in common with the Committee on Technology and Innovation, and I'll be looking forward to do business with this committee a lot. And also, we should look within. I'm always stressing on within from the technological point of view or from other thematic points of view. The solutions we seek or the ideas we seek to implement, they are all within. So we look within and we can do a lot of work to solve our problems. Once again, I'm so sorry for the technical hitch, which made me got in very late. My apologies.
No problem. Thank you so much. Sorry. Thank you so much, everybody. And as you said all, working together is definitely the key. This is a formalities, and this is a foundation structure that needs to be set in order to function. But how to do this and how to develop it and shape it, it's up to all of us. So we're going to be working throughout this year together, and this first meeting is just for formalities. But the next meeting, we will be sharing more about us as individuals, because it's important to know each other, and also about our committee's work and how we can collaborate and where do we need help and how we can support one committee if it needs the help of everybody. So I know this first meeting is very boring and very structured, but it's necessary to set up a clear foundation where we all can move together on a clear vision, right? Thank you so much. And see you next time.
See you too. Have a nice weekend.
Bye. And Lombe, please send us the minutes.
Good point. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Bye. Have a nice afternoon or evening.
Guys, sorry. What time am I supposed to send the minutes to? I was writing them, so I need
within
to
24 hours.
set them up.
Anytime you want, within 24 hours.
Within 24 hours. Awesome. Okay. Okay, great.
Thank you.
And thank
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Have a nice weekend.
You too.
You too.
You too. Have a nice weekend.
Okay.
Okay.